This is some of the worst digging I've done on any of them.
They don't build them like they used to. At least, that's what they say. But they never met the trail workers in the Great Smoky Mountains.
I've worked with the Trails Forever crew, and there's a great bunch of guys to work with.
Keith Staten volunteers to help rebuild the Rainbow Falls Trail, a 6.5-mile route to the top of Mount LeConte, riddled with roots, ruts, and rocks.
I've hiked up this trail several times, and there was really some rough places in here.
Since May, the park shut down the trail during the week to give this heavily beaten path a makeover. And every Wednesday, Staten shows up and doesn't mind working with a bunch of dirt bags.
There is a bunch of dirt bags. They're using dirt, it's all natural, to fill in around the rocks and the crevices in there to hold them in place. The steps is what fascinates me the most, how they can build these steps and do such a perfect job on them.
And when you see those perfect stone steps on this trail, well, they actually just started out as boulders near the trail that crews gathered up and then chiseled and shaped by hand.
We have to find them, we have to shape them, and we have to drag them over and place them. None of this was here before. Before this was a deep gully. It should be a drastic difference just in hiker safety.
Josh Shapiro with the National Park Service supervises the Rainbow Falls project and says they should be finished by the end of next year.
It'd be easy to come in here and just try to throw a bunch of things together, but it wouldn't last. It takes time to get this done correctly.
The volunteers enjoy doing hard time at Rainbow Falls.
They have to make their own gravel. So something like stories you hear about the chain gang, making small rocks out of big ones, you know.
Volunteer chain gang.
You volunteer chain gang, that's pretty well put right there. I love being out in nature. And then when you're done, you're tired, you're dirty, but you've got a real good satisfaction.
And when this trail is finally rehabilitated, it'll be built to last.
We try to do all of our rock work for at least 100-year standard. It should last much longer though.
They go to great lengths to make it look for it's not new construction, you know, like it's always been there.
And Staten looks forward to the day folks can hike this whole trail. And hopefully for the next century, hikers will say they don't build them like this anymore.
It's really a wonderful feeling to know that you were a part of this. That's going to be something for generations to come are going to enjoy that. It's just a good feeling.
In the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Jim Matheny, WBIR 10 News.
We like to hike a lot, so I'm with my parents at Clingmans Dome. And my sister.
Well, they're going to have 25 minutes of silence in the parking lot. And I don't think a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old like that for 25 whole minutes. So they can ask all the questions they want up here. Put them on.
It's pretty close to totality. It's only got like a little fingernail sliver of the sun. It's already getting dark. Look at it. Look around us. Oh. It's around the time when I want to start catching fireflies, maybe. Only 7 more minutes till real totality. Oh, it's sort of like a fancy sea. The sun's so powerful. I can kind of see the pathway where that sunset's going to be everywhere. I don't see any more butterflies. I think the sunset's starting to happen. Oh my gosh, look around. It's totality! Whoa! Super duper! Look at it! Oh my goodness!
Hey Lily, look at me. What do you think?
I've never seen anything like that before. Look around!
Look
Oh
at
my
how you can see the corona.
I see the first star!
Oh, look,
see a
yeah.
star?
I see stars! It's a really bright star. Whoa, the sun is a star. Whoa.
Right here.
Woo!
That was pretty cool.
Wow!
Yeah, look, the sunrise is going to happen really fast.
I'm serious. It feels like UFOs are going to attack at any second.
I don't think it's that.
The lighting just looks like it. It's so cool.
Covered in clouds.
Wait, it's already done? I really like looking at it with the naked eye.
If you just wait another 375 years, we can do this again at home.
Seriously, Dad? Yep. We won't live that long.
We got lucky.
Yeah, I feel so blessed. We probably did have the best spot of like all totality. I'm gonna remember everything. It was just awesome. I loved it.
In the hills of Haywood County, North Carolina, Herbert Cowboy Coward is a real character.
I've done a little bit of everything.
Complete with a squirrel sidekick named Angel.
He's went all over the United States with me traveling. You know, they're pretty intelligent, squirrel is, you know.
Cowboy's entertaining nature made him a living, playing cowboy at the amusement park Ghost Town in the Sky.
I was a gunfighter at Ghost Town.
The fights were fake, but the stunts were real.
I had my teeth knocked out in a gunfight up at Ghost Town years ago. I didn't have my two front teeth.
At Ghost Town, Cowboy met another young actor from the TV show Gunsmoke.
Over in Burt Reynolds, I knew Burt real well.
It's gonna be fun!
Those connections helped Cowboy land his most memorable part. It wasn't so much entertaining as terrifying. Cast as the Toothless Man in the 1972 film Deliverance.
Hold that on.
Deliverance was a box office hit.
Where are you going, city boy?
Delivered dueling banjos and thrilling scenes of Appalachia's beauty that boosted whitewater tourism.
Yeah, go!
And like Ghost Town, the story was fake, but the stunts were real.
Even in the boats, they all of them done their own, you know, stunt work. But I went off the rock cliffs, and nobody had never went off of it before. They had a crane up there with a cable that the cameras wouldn't pick up, and it took about a half hour to let me down. But I enjoy doing it.
But many people do not remember Deliverance for its beauty. They remember brutality.
You're going to do some praying for me, boy.
Specifically the scene where the characters played by Cowboy and co-star Bill McKinney rape a man.
Well, now we did improvise a whole lot.
Don't say anything, just do it.
The actors made up the lines that movie critics call some of the most memorable quotes in Hollywood history.
Now, should I say what we said in the movie? Make him squeal like a pig.
I've been seeing squeal like a pig.
I told that old boy, I said, son, you sure have got a pretty mouth. That's the line I had.
He got a little pretty mouth, ain't he?
With this infamous role, fame smiled on Cowboy Coward.
But it changes your life. You wasn't nobody, and almost overnight you're somebody. I had kin people come in that I never heard of before. Pat me on the back, and I was a good friend. I was somebody. Never been nobody before, but I was somebody.
But the movie also cast a long shadow on the mountains. Spread the stereotype of Appalachia as inbred hillbillies.
Talk about genetic deficiencies.
Made the people hear a punchline of decades of Deliverance jokes. But Cowboy says playing the poster boy of backwoods terror was a positive experience. It was just a movie, and just part of the job.
Oh, it's just another episode for me. I'm used to doing stuff.
Just hold it.
And it's really exciting in a way.
You ain't going no damn where.
Cowboy went on to land a few other parts on TV and movies, and that role on the raging river as a hillbilly villain remains a big part of his life.
Sign autographs and take pictures and stuff. And they'll say, tell these people you're to squeal like a pig. I'll say, squeal like a pig, squeal like Paul's old pig, you know.
Decades after Deliverance, Cowboy never stopped being a character by just being himself.
I love my squirrel. He goes to church every Sunday, don't you, boy? Yeah. He's a good companion.
In Haywood County, Jim Matheny, WBIR 10 News.
Yeah.
This was kind of like their home away from home in the mountains.
The historic Gatlinburg Inn was practically home sweet home to Hall of Fame songwriters Boudleaux and Felice Bryant.
This room actually, of course, is where the song Rocky Top was written. We tried to leave it just as it is as much as we possibly can. Of course, this plaque was added several years ago.
In the half century since the song was written, Room 388 has grown into a main attraction at the inn.
We do get quite a bit of requests for the room.
But in August 1967, Felice Bryant simply needed a distraction from their main assignment.
They were working on a project called The Golden Years for Archie Campbell, and Felice was getting tired of writing the sad song.
Gadgets of chrome.
My mom and my dad, and she said, Boudleaux, let's write something peppy. Let's write something up-tempo. This is killing me.
I said, I want to write something up, something with a beat, something about the mountains. How about a bluegrass? Anything.
And Dad said, no, let's finish our job. We just have a few more songs, then we'll do something else. And Mother kept pestering him, and Dad immediately grabbed the guitar and said, okay, wish that I was on old Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Mom said, I like that. And he said, you do? She said, yeah, let's write it.
Then I started coming up with words, and he finished the tune, and he said, well, what do you think we ought to call it? I said, well, I don't know. He says, how about Rocky Top?
Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me.
And so they wrote it in less than 10 minutes, and some people say, well, how can you write a song that fast? Dad said, well, for a couple of weeks, we'd been writing hard. We were in the zone.
Ain't no smoggy smoke on Rocky Top.
And the Bryants aren't your typical songwriters. They're Hall of Famers.
Wake up, little Susie, wake up, bye-bye, love. Love hurts.
By no means did Rocky Top make the careers of the Bryants, but Del says his parents were so proud they made Rocky Top. And a few months later, the Osborne brothers recorded a rip-roaring rendition.
That right there is song number 1 on side 2, written by Boudleaux Bryant and Felice Bryant, is Rocky Top.
Alex Leach hosts the Bluegrass Special on WDVX and plays banjo for the Clinch Mountain Boys.
They say, oh, you play bluegrass music, do you know Rocky Top? And that's usually the first question they'll ask. Let's hear that Rocky Top. Do you know that Rocky Top?
It became an official state song in Tennessee in 1982. Dozens of artists have recorded Rocky Top, even a singer in Czechoslovakia during the Cold War. But this beat with blaring banjos reached even higher peaks with trombones and flutes, transforming the tune into the unofficial fight song of the Tennessee Volunteers.
In 1972, the band did a halftime show, and it sort of hit a spark. And it was like a snowball going into an avalanche.
Dr. Don Ryder directs bands at UT and says nobody rocks Rocky Top more than the pride of the Southland Marching Band.
A graduating senior would have played it over 5,000 times. Named the top college fight song. It is a crowd mover. It's like a shot of adrenaline. It's one of the most loved songs in the state of Tennessee. You go to other states, like when we go down to Florida or Georgia or anyone else, it's the most hated song. That sort of motivates us. Tennessee children grow up knowing the words to Rocky Top, and they even know when to go, woo!
Woo! Rocky Top. Tennessee.
And because they wrote the song in Gatlinburg, many have assumed the title came from an actual peak in the Great Smoky Mountains called Rocky Top.
They had no idea there was a place called Rocky Top. When you write a song in 10 minutes, believe me, you're not thinking about if there's an obscure place called Rocky Top.
Reckon they never will.
My father said it was just the title of a song. It was all about a place where corn wouldn't grow, but you could still make moonshine.
The folks on Rocky Top get their corn from a jar.
The Bryants catalog has a lot bigger hits than Rocky Top. But none are likely to still inspire more passion or strike a stronger chord of Home Sweet Home in another 50 years.
If they hadn't written it, there would be an element of fun that we would have never known about. And the amount of smiles, laughter, and happiness that it brought.
As long as there's a state of Tennessee, that passion, Rocky Top will live on forever.
In Gatlinburg, Jim Matheny, WBIR 10 News.